So please welcome for our first episode of 2026, my girls, Paige and Presley, and our beautiful soul sister, Kawtar, that we have merged with at the end of 2025 and are now going to share with all of you the magic that our lives have shifted into even more and where we're going in the next 20, let's say 12 months, this next year, because we're starting it off at the beginning. So welcome everyone. It is so fun to be here together. We've been looking forward to this Qatar. And why don't you start? Where do you want to begin? And we're starting this new business together. I announced it last week on our episode, the I Am agency that emerged with our energies connecting in the last month or two at the most, because I feel like you've been in my life for maybe 2 months. But why don't you take it and kind
Okay.
of explain where our connection started and why it did and why I found you and you said God sent you to me and how that all works.
Well, thank you for having me again. So, um, so I really felt like the first connection because I was like trying to pull away from, your podcast, and I was like, I felt you like, no, you're coming in with me, and so it's kind of your fault that a lot of people shifted. Um, so from right away when I talked to you the first time, I knew like your energy was ready, but you were bigger than what people saw. And and I think you didn't show it as much. I seen it like right away. And working with you in the future or before, I it just feels like home for me. So that's a lot because I don't feel that with a lot of people. Um, but you have so much to give, but you also have so many gifts. And with everyone that I helped that you sent me, you did a lot of work with them before. So I came in, but I came in like putting the makeup and but you did a lot of work, even with your both Paige and Presley. You did a lot of work. It was easy for me to come in and cut the cords because you taught them so much about energy. They were ready and you were ready. So um it's a gift in my life to have someone like you, and being able to work with the two girls. They both have amazing energy because of you. So a lot of kids don't have that.
Right.
Did a
Thank
lot
you.
of work, and I know you worked every day with them, and even when they have competition or school and all of that, I can see the hard work that you did.
Thank you. And what about you girls? Like let's bring you in and share a little bit, maybe the way I raised you, little things like that, what she means by I prepared you so you were ready. Because when I look at friends or look at Instagram at people your age, I can see the energy that it's almost like they're in a fog. I see this like gaze of something. There's nothing in there. And they haven't been I don't want to say programmed, but been raised by what I feel like was so important raising you. So maybe Press, do you want to start with that and then Paige you can start?
Yeah, she'll go
Sure.
and I'll finish.
Okay.
So I think often a lot of parents are either like not really aware or they just do what they were taught growing up to their kids. But mom is very different. So we grew up, we would sit in the back of the car on the way to school, and we would have the little back pockets of the chairs and in the car. And my mom would put a little journal in there for us. And I thought it was just really to keep us busy, but she would have us write four things we're grateful for, two people we're going to compliment that day, and one intention for the day. And that I think was kind of the thing that was our routine. We would say our affirmations and write in our gratitude journals every single morning on the way to school. And I think that that is the main thing that kind of programmed us to be how the way we are and be the people we are. And I think that that was really life-changing because I've never met any other kid that does that and has their parents make them do that. And also doing vision boards growing up and setting goals, especially because we do pageants. So setting goals is very important and just in life in general. Mom teaching us that we do it every single New Year's Eve and at the beginning of the years and sometimes with our friends. And so, yeah, Jenna.
Yeah, I think, well, finishing mom's question, talking about what she sees on social media of our friends, you can definitely see. I have different friends raised differently, and you can see like one of my best friends from high school, like what she posts is so different than like what I see like some of my friends from college post. And you can see like just from the one picture, whether it's like a bikini picture, just the way that they want to show themselves on social media, the way they comment on different things, the way that if I like hang out with them, the way that what they value, what they want to do versus when I'm with like one of my best friends that I like grew up with, what she wants to do with me, it is so different. And you can really like see the way, like just from a simple picture or like just like one like time, one like 2 hours hanging out with them, I can really see like just from my mom and how she's taught me, okay, like I can see like I really enjoy this friend more just because the way like we've grown up together, we have like grown up in the same kind of way. Like she's been over to my house all the time. My mom's practically her second mom. We've done the vision boards on New Year's Eve together. We have that kind of relationship where we are built on growth and we're built on really trying to better not only ourselves but growing together than being at school, at college, and being with friends who only care about going to the bar, who only care about partying, who only chase the next drink of alcohol, who want to go and talk to all these boys. And it's the way that my mom has raised me. And I am so grateful that I'm able to really see this because not a lot of people see that they think this is normal. And I think that it's like crazy that this is the new norm. And I think that we need to like, I wish that we can like start to like go back to like people thinking that like just like having like quality time together, like going to a coffee shop together, going to like the mall and go shopping together is a fun way to hang out instead of just waiting for the weekend at night just to drink alcohol and go to parties.
Yeah.
Wow, that's now you sound like you're 40 something and you're
I was like, wow, where did that come from?
my God, that sounded like that was brutal for the Instagram because I see it every day.
Yeah.
Like whatever people post that I know, it's almost the opposite of what's going on. Um,
Mhm.
and I'm just
It's a
like,
facade, you mean? Like,
it's
yeah,
really, really interesting that you can see it and that you go into coffee shops and connecting with people instead of breaking up with people on text. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know how people do it. Like, you just like communicating on text all the time. So I'm amazed with what you both said. It's really the gratitude is number one into elevating yourself. So your mom taught you the right thing.
right,
Yes.
Yeah. And we talked about this, when you follow something happens and if you think something or a situation, it's gonna reverse because of your gratitude. And a lot of people they're just very negative with negative. So it makes it very hard to shift. So
right. And
really interesting.
with the thank you, Presley, will you so you had a session with Qatar after I first met her before we left for Orlando for the national pageant. And she wanted to help you with your energy. But I think first, when the first aha moment with her was what? Like when you were on that Zoom and you're like, oh my gosh, the thank you thing, her,
Yeah.
she sees you in your head, all those. Explain
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think we got on the call like 2 weeks before we left. It was like pretty close to before we left. And the very first thing she told me was that I was always in my head. And I was like 100%. Like I am constantly in my head overthinking. And it kind of like made me aware of that and like realize that I can change that because I think that it was something that I always thought that I would never be able to change. Like I was like constantly, I always overthink everything, like always like I make scenarios in my head of like what could happen or what like all the scenarios. I always do that, like whether it's at a pageant or if I'm like going somewhere. And I think that she kind of made me realize that I don't have to be that way. And I think that was really eye-opening. And then she also told me the thank you, saying thank you to everything. And like the second you step off the airplane when you get to Orlando, you say thank you because it is making you like making the situation a positive and not and making you realize like I think grateful, like mostly kind of like I'm grateful for being here. And if something negative happens, you say thank you because it is all meant to happen how it is supposed to be. And I think that if you something negative happens, like I trip on stage, you can't be when you get off stage. I think a lot of people are like crying, "Oh my gosh, like I just tripped on stage, like I'm gonna lose, whatever." But if you walk off stage and knowing you tripped, you kind of have to be like, okay, thank you. Like that was for a reason. Maybe I was supposed to trip and maybe either that's going to help me, that's going to whatever. Maybe I'm not supposed to win because it's going to lead you to something better. And so you're saying thank you to being grateful for what happened because that is ultimately what God or the universe had made you to do.
Right.
Like, remember, Presley, when I said to you, even if you lose, you're going to win. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I said it doesn't matter because something bigger is for you. And when you were at the competition, the night that we talked, like right in the middle, you were like really like there was a lot of negative and I said, I said it doesn't matter what happens, I said
Mhm.
you already won. And you said, and I said something like, well, you are good enough. And you said to me, I am better than good enough. So at that time, I realized you're probably not going to win number one because you're going to have something else coming up. And I didn't want to tell you that, but you were like, I'm way.
Yes, I'm more than good
Yeah.
enough.
And when you said that, I'm like, yeah, you were like better than everybody because you answered the right way. You followed like, the energy of your dress. And um, those are the beautiful things that you followed. A lot of people don't follow and they don't believe. Um, so you already won like a lot of people over that believe like, number one is always the winner. Well, number one can be just a winner, but it doesn't open doors. So I always say to people, trust. And it's really, and thank you for following, even the lipstick that, we were talking about. She said, how do I get out of my head? And we planned it with one item and you stuck with that. That's probably something like every time you put some lip gloss or something, you remind yourself, hey, but everyone is different. For you, that it worked. Somebody else, it might be something else.
Yeah.
Right. You gave her an object and that be more clear about that. Explain why that was so important to show her like every time you put your lipstick or lip gloss on, that's a what? A sign or
Well, she
a,
asked me when I said you're too much in your head, you gotta get out of your head. So at one point, Presley went like, but how do I do that? So
right.
I realized that she needed something. Like sometimes it's just like a pen for me that I remind myself to ground myself. So for her, I said, what do you use the most? And she had a bunch of, I think, lip gloss around her. And so I realized like that's what she was connected to. And I said, every time you put it, get out of your head. You remember the lip gloss, lipstick, and every time she will see it on somebody else, she will ground herself. That's her point. Um, so it helped her because being in your head is being disconnected from your energy. So you're thinking too much. You're like, oh, what's going to happen if I lose? What's going to happen if I trip? So that brings you back to grounding. That is very important for anyone that's doing sports, competition. The grounding is what saves you from a lot of like leaks from your energy or falling or overthinking.
Right. Paige, will you because you didn't compete this year, but you also were going through, we've been a year and a semester through college. And I was explaining to Qatar before you met with her that I felt like there were a lot of red lights I always talk about green lights, meaning, gosh, that's a for sure, meant for you. Let's go, right? And it from the day one of college, I felt like the red lights were more than the green lights. And then you got to have a session with Qatar, and I, I talk about the speed of the magic, but considering that we've only known you for 2 months at this stage of the game, and our lives are completely different. So, Paige, yours is completely different. You don't have to get into the details of it, but at least explain, what shifted in your life and what you saw, even with the friends. And I know you're not the party girl, but you do go to the party and you do watch the red solo cups. Anyway, go ahead.
Um, I just like saw it from the first meeting with Qatar, and I would like send her photos of like the friends that I had at the moment, and she would tell me like right away like everything about them, which was really fascinating because it was spot on. And she would help me cut the cords with them. And after like a few days, like she would text me like, "Oh, like text me like if you feel anything." And I would, and it was like cool to see like the cords that she was able to cut with people. And like not only people, but just like also like things at school. Like I feel like I had blocks at school, whether it was from like learning, like I feel like I have a hard time with like learning or like understanding things related to like school or the things that I was taking at school. And she was able to help me through that. Um, and just like finding different like paths. I think at college, as mom said, there was a ton of like red like roadblocks, would you call them? Like red
Yeah, red
lights.
lights. Yeah, roadblocks.
Um, like whether that was I started rowing in the beginning of, or I was rowing Division 1 at the beginning of college. I quit that. I did the sorority, like I quit that. Like it was all not right for me. And then guitar like helped me shift my mindset and find a new path for college that was right for me.
Right. And when you say, I would think it would be great for you to explain when you say she cut cords with people, what did that look like in your, like, you don't know she's doing it, but you knew she did it because it shifted something with the friends that were not, I don't want to say toxic, or weren't like in alignment with your energy.
It, I just felt like I wasn't like connected to them. Like I feel like that was different. Um, she had mentioned it when she said that after you send the photo, like after like a few weeks or maybe it was a few days, like they would start to like reach out, feeling that there was like a connection that was cut and that did happen. And that was very interesting because then she was like, you can't reach out like I know you want to, but you can't reply. And that was like cool that I saw that on my end. I didn't necessarily like feel it, but when she explained like what it would do, like them reaching out after like a certain amount of time, or like them like trying to like they like definitely saw it, I think, because they started reaching out and realized that I didn't value their friendship anymore, that that connection was cut. It was very interesting, I think.
What do you
That's
say, Qatar?
wow. I didn't know that they reached out. I know I told you,
Hmm.
but usually when we cut cords, people feel that you shifted higher. So
Hmm.
you're not feeding to their toxic or whatever we call it. Um, and it allows you to move in to higher energy and to your road, because before that you're pulling like these people with you and you put them on the pedestal and you lowered yourself. So after all of that, cutting all the cords, we free you from that and you can find your own way. School is not for everyone, different type of schools. We all have to find our way to go to school without being like without having that pressure and suffocating. Um, because I didn't really like school, but there's some people but I stayed in school until the age of 35. So my mom was like, "Oh, you're addicted to school." And I'm like, "Hmm." So when she said that to me, she kind of cut the cord for me for school. So I am really happy that whatever happened, and you are now understanding that cutting a cord is not really just blocking someone, is really elevating yourself. And it's like, a balloon that's going up and the cords, they just release. It allows it to go up. And it's going to change more in 2026 for you, that's for sure, because you're not going to be attracting those kind of people. So the people that didn't really embrace your energy or you as a person, they're not going to have access to you anymore. You're going to attract the right people for you. And that's what happens when we cut cords. We don't just cut cords to eliminate that person. They're still there. You just don't connect with them. And they're going to try to reach out more and more, probably your birthday and all of that. And you shifted. So it's really hard. It's going to be really hard for you to find anything positive in them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I definitely saw that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're going to meet a ton of people that are right for you, are right for your energy. And I mean, thank you for accepting the cutting cords because not everybody, a lot of times I cut the cords while they're talking. And the week after, I feel that they corded themselves again with that person.
Mhm.
It's just their, nervous system, that's safety. Well, I need that person in my life. But you're learning this at a very young age. So it's going to help you with all kinds of relationships. And
Right.
you're not going to pick the wrong guys. You're not going to question yourself. You're going to be like, this is who I am, and the person needs to accept me the way I am because it's always goes back to the I am.
Right. And I've watched them, experience boys and even like looking at Paige and how she is so tuned in at her age as a sophomore in college, where these girls are gallivanting around with different boys and doing all these things that she wouldn't even think of. And it's her energy, her vibration is so high, and her worth of herself. And I'm not saying it's not you, but I'm explaining it to you, Press, because you're the same. But with in a college girl in that atmosphere, watching her make the choices because her energy is at that high vibration, nothing below that. It's like they're all like feeders, like the fish down there. You can't, that won't even, you can't even lower yourself, right, Qatar?
Yep, that's so true. And Paige, you are ahead of your age. So, Presley, we're still working on you because you're not really worried about that stuff yet, but you're not seeing the drinking. So the drinking, what's funny about drinking that you said, so it starts a lot like in sports when they're like 16 and 17, 18, and they start drinking when they win, they start drinking when they lose, they start drinking for all kinds of occasions. So it becomes like that's the energy. So when you drink and you get drunk, you're leaving your body and something else comes in. So that's when you go like, oh, that person sounds so weird or different when they drink. And you could go to a bar and you'll see a lot of people, they're completely empty because they're drunk and they're going to attract different type of energy and mostly negative. And they're going to start saying things that you're like, why is she saying that? It's not even their own person that's saying it. So you're going to start experiencing, seeing people drinking and leaving their body. That happens a lot. And the drinking in schools and it's the sad thing is everything goes on Instagram, on Facebook. Like at our age, there was none of that. Like people did not film or stuff. And thank God they didn't film because we'd be all in trouble, I think. So even knowing that they're gonna be filmed, they're still doing all this stupid stuff that will impact them when they get a job, when they're trying to in the competition, or that will come back to you. Like when you were drunk while people are taking pictures of you, you don't remember who took a video of you, and that can surface again. It's okay to drink. I'm not saying that, no, but abusing anything is bad. So
Right.
obviously, when they're not grounded, they need to drink. And a lot of parents, they do drink. So it becomes like, oh, this is all cool. You're my best friend. We're going to drink together. It's a bad thing because drinking will also aid you, but it also blocks your energy. So you see people that drink, even if they're 18, 19, they already look like not so good.
Right. Presley, what about you with your friends? Because I've noticed a difference in the last 2 months with Qatar and the energy work she's done and the cord cutting and the lessons she's taught you and, you know, how school, and, we've always been kind of I don't want the white sheep of of this, it's a not an easy molding into this like sea of people and their beliefs. And like we said at the beginning, like you grew up with these beliefs, and not many of those girls that you hang out with did that. So it was a little harder to connect. Will you explain what you've experienced?
Yes. So, should I start with like middle school?
Sure, whatever. What?
Um, Middle school, I think my mom talks about this all the time, but I definitely used to be very like out of my shell and like super outgoing, like the loudest in the room. And then like I think middle school, I would kind of these girls would tell me these certain things and act a certain way towards me, and it kind of like beat me down to not want to really like use my voice anymore and not be as outgoing and not be however I wanted to be because they thought a certain way of me, and I wanted to not use my voice anymore because I wanted to kind of either like want to like be like not like I don't know how to explain it, but like
Blend in?
yeah, blend in, fit in, like not really be myself where I'm like super outgoing and talking all the time. And so when they would say those things to me, I'd kind of like bring myself down so that I would be kind of on like want them to like me, I guess. But then, and then going into high school, I would, I think it was in the beginning, it was a new school from, I had gone to the same school from kindergarten to eighth grade. And then going into ninth grade, it was a new school. So I was able to make new friends. And then this year it was kind of different because, well, actually recently, not really this the whole year, but I have like my few friends, but I think it's not, I don't really connect with basically anyone, which is fine, and I'm fine with that. But I think that it's me kind of being aware of who they are and what they're doing because I don't value the same things and I don't like want to be liked. I don't care about being liked by these girls because I kind of learned from when I was in middle school. I saw how beaten down I got and how like silenced almost. And so now I think that I'm able to see like, okay, well those girls are like that and I'm not going to go do that anyways. Even if they're my friends and they're doing that, I'm not going to go do that because I don't care if they're not going to like me because I don't drink or do go to parties. I don't really care because that's just not who I am. And if they don't like me because of that, that's fine. And I think that it's kind of just knowing my values and knowing who I am and seeing through like what the girls do and who they are at school, I think is something that I've definitely learned along the way, and being able to stay true to who I am and be able to see through people is definitely not only something I learned from mom, but like growing up, I think is something I gained that is good.
Right. And Qatar, you have such a gift, and I know I do too. And
Yes.
you've reminded me of that.
Yep.
When I look at people or I see a picture someone shows me, I like when I look on Instagram, I'm like I know exactly what's going on with that girl. And when we did that the other night with Presley and her,
Oh yeah, that was funny.
oh my gosh, right, Press?
Yeah.
Share that.
So me and mom were sitting on the couch watching a movie like we do every single night. And I was talking to mom. I think mom was already texting you. Mom was texting guitar already. And I was telling mom, I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder what guitar would say about like whatever
A friend, yeah.
whatever friends. And someone was like, just send them to her. So I sent her three pictures, three of these girls that two of them at school, one of them not. And she just sent a paragraph for each one, and it was either exactly what I knew that I was right about and more. It was what I knew and more. And it was so crazy to like see that gift that she has and how like it I think it just made me aware of who I was surrounding myself with and what I was attracting because I obviously do not want to be attracting people who are not in alignment with me and my values. And so I think it was really cool to see like or like be um what is it called? Like confirming my thoughts of what I've been feeling recently about my friends. And so it was nice to like hear that and see that and know that I was like, okay, like I don't need to attract that anymore and I don't need to be surrounding myself with people that are doing certain things and acting a certain way or being treating me a certain way.
What do you say about that, Guitar?
That reminds me of the story I tell people like about a puppy, how when you get a puppy and the puppy comes always to you and like wants attention and attention and attention. That's what most people do when they have friends around. They're like the puppy trying to get attention, and after that, they get pushed away. They get like, oh my God, no, here's a cookie. And so your energy becomes overpowering because you're not in your I am and you're not, your self concept is so low. Just like a puppy is kind of like they need you. So when you cut those cords, you're like become like the puppy that doesn't care. You just go and grab your stuff and your toys and you go where you want to go in the house and you're like, this is my way. So you're not the needy puppy anymore. And when you cut cords, you're just discovering yourself and you're like, oh my God, these people are just annoying. And sometimes like boyfriends, you're like, how did I go out with this person? Um, so that's really good that, I was able to read those pictures, but it's also, I mean, Ashley, you can read those pictures too. It's just you just don't voice like me. I'm more brutal, but you're gonna become brutal too because
Good.
we're not gonna tiptoe around what you see. When you start tiptoeing around what I see in the picture, I'm like, this is not being me if I'm tiptoeing around.
Right.
You have so many gifts. You just starting now to like, hey, you know what? I seen that before too. And it's true. You see a lot of stuff, but you don't voice it like I do. But I'm
Right.
more, I'm not so gentle with people. When they ask me a question, are you ready for the answer? Like
Right.
if someone asks me like, oh, is my husband's cheating on me? You already have the answer. I don't need to tell you. Just you asking that question.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, you know, all of this is magical and I I'm moving into your world, you're moving into my world, and we're mixing up these things so I can help you and you can help me. Because like I said, it's your fault. You got me out of my little cage or whatever. I'm
The
like, oh,
closet.
yeah, so it's your fault. So we are here because of that. And yeah, and thank you. I really I'm thankful for that.
Oh, you are. You've lit up a whole new path. And I was listening to my podcast today because I had recorded that intro and it made me realize, and after you texted me saying you've changed, and it's the clarity and the knowing and the confidence that you've peeled my onion layers more. I could hear it too. And it's so cool and then I'm getting all these people messaging me today after listening to it, excited. And I think it shows them too, here I am, 5 years, going on 6 years of this podcast, thinking I owe these people these episodes because I don't want to let them down. And I'm thinking, wait, I'm shifting. I'm moving on to this new level and that's what people I hope that shows people that you don't just need to stay in one lane, right, girls? We keep going. We pick up the breadcrumbs. It might not be exactly what we thought it was going to be, but you keep moving forward when it feels right and you keep going. We don't
That's
know where we're leading, right? So, Qatar, will you go to the place where I got a text from you saying we're creating an agency? This is what we're going to do together. where
Yeah.
that came from.
I just felt like, since you took me out of my own shadow and like, oh my God, you need to come out. I just felt the connection and I was like, okay, if anybody's gonna bring me out, it was you. Because I wanted to push away the podcast. I'm like, oh, I'm so busy, I don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, no, we're doing it. This is the date and we're doing it. So you guided me to my own power, that I really never wanted to be seen, or I work with the people that I know. Um, but I knew my gifts. I just was like, who's gonna bring me out? And it's you, because you saw in me things that probably I didn't even realize or seen. So you're just like, no, 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 no. You're coming out. This is your time. And people call me the storm for a reason. When I come in somebody's life, I move everything. If they're ready, they're gonna shift. If they're not ready, they're not gonna shift. And that's why I don't work with everyone. There's gonna be people that always have excuses. You don't have excuses. That's what I liked about you. And you allowed me to work with your girls and trusted me with big events, and you just realize, oh, it's moving. But it's a lot the work that you did. I just made it like a little more clear. So when you shift, your girls shift too. So if you don't have a good self concept, your girls are going to not have a good one, because
Hmm.
you are, the road for them. And um, it's really hard these days for especially women in high school and all of that, because I think there's a lot of people that are mean because of their parents, the way, they see things, the competition, they're empty. And we talk a lot, also, like I've been talking a lot about athletes with silent energy suicide that a lot of parents don't see. So that's another book that's coming out. I'm working with some athletes on that. We don't see it, but that's where everything starts, when they leave their energy and parents don't even see it. So when you're not connected with your kids, you see it different. It's really different. When you are connected with your kids, you see it right away that something is off.
Right.
So you know, you brought me out, so I don't know. It's like I said many times, it's your fault, because I was gonna go like, oh no, I just want to work with people that I know, athletes that I work with, people that know me, that know my gift, and I am the storm. When I come in your life, yeah, it's true. I will move everything to make you what you're supposed to be, but you did that to me, so. But
Yay.
it was silent, it was not like, it was not brutal. And I think I didn't need that brutal thing. Just like
Right.
Paige doesn't need the brutal thing. Presley, a little, she can handle the brutal because she's in her head, and she takes what's good for her now. So they're both different, but both have good qualities. This is amazing.
So, see, let's talk about the vision of what we're creating now in 2026.
The vision is returning people. So the magic that you've been talking about for what, 5 years now,
Yes.
is all in returning to yourself. So you can try a bunch of things, but the only thing that really works is going back to yourself. And going back to yourself is really looking at yourself as being the person that you want to be, not because you're trying to compete with someone. Competition is always with yourself, it's never with someone. So you can't compete with someone else because you're entering the energy that doesn't flow with you. So when you're returning to yourself, and this is what we want to do with most of the people, is working together, making a plan for a person. Each person is different. Even like Paige and Presley, they're very different. You can't work with them the same way. So whatever I
Right.
worked with on one, so this is what we need, getting sessions with some parents and their kids, also if they're in competition or whatever they're doing, to return the parent to the I am,
Hmm.
cutting the cords, working, with the mindset, something that you do really amazing. Um, I don't know how to really put people in the mindset. Like seriously, I don't have that talent. Me, it's I cut the cord, I move them, and I'm like, because you already did the work, so you're gonna be doing that part, and I'm gonna learn from you. You're gonna learn from me, and I think it's making a plan for people that want to change, and that's what we want, and we want to save kids from wasting time. Like some kids are wasting time in school. They're going to be in school for 6 years because they don't know what they want,
Right.
or the parent is not listening to what they want. And that's
Right.
something you really listened, to Paige, and you found a way to go like, well, this is how we're going to do it. And you helped her see what she wanted. And that's what we want to do with the I am agency. Help everyone return to themselves and work on themselves. Like instead of trying to compete, put all that energy on returning and building yourself instead of copying someone.
Right. You know, going to what you're saying about, Paige and her shift and me knowing it, I kept saying to her, oh, I just, that feeling in me and that this decision that we've made, that you've made, it's such a good full body yes. And like when I realized that that in life is such a powerful tool, and that be part of what we would teach is this when your intuition and this full, like it was such a yes. Like right, Paige, like, can you explain like when you finally said, this is, let's do this, Mom, I want to do this. And I feel this shift so much after, the last month, which is crazy to say. I mean, think of where we were in November in Orlando compared to now, and it's only been a little over a month of what the shift. But explain that, like, because didn't you feel like this is the right thing? Like when you really listen to your body and you listen to your intuition, explain that.
It was like literally the second after I like made the shift, I already felt like relief and I felt more free. And I knew in my heart that I was doing the right thing with the path that I wanted to take. And just like mom and Qatar like giving me the confidence to do that and like them telling me that like what I will choose, like what I want to choose, what my intuition tells me is the right thing, like just like having that like second like confidence boost to do the right thing was very nice because after making the shift, as I said, like I already felt so much better. And now knowing that like the new path that I am taking this next year with school and everything, I just feel a lot better that I'm doing what's right for me more so than what is like the normal for like everyone.
Right. And how people, like we would say this to Qatar like all the time, people are put in this mold of these parents that say, well, you go to college for these years, you study this, you do this. And so the kids are just these robots, doing their hamster wheel of life and not even seeing like the way I feel like just even talking now and listening to you talk, Paige, is like the minute you were free from that hamster wheel and you got that, we put that little stick in there and you could fly off. It was like a whole different experience. Our feelings, we were like, oh my gosh, you mean I don't have to do that? I mean, look back at those messages that we would, or the phone calls on the steps at the dorm, like in the tears, like looking back at all that, it was like so forced. So if when we work with people in this IM agency and they feel like they're just part of this robotic life and they don't realize the magic they can have and they can feel in their bodies and knowing that they don't have to do what they think they're supposed to do when there are so many red lights or blocks. But Paige, explain that because when you see the feeling and you can go back and look at your all the pictures that you've looked at, to say, Mom, look at me here. Oh my gosh, this doesn't even look like me. Look at me here. And then all of a sudden you see, like, isn't it cool to look back and say, it wasn't the right path.
Even just
Obviously, God was like, hello, when are we going to listen?
yeah, it was like not only it was cool because I could see it like on the outside, like how I was looking. Like I literally looked miserable. I looked inflamed. I looked like awful. And then like like literally awful. I'm like, who even is that? And then yeah, like mom said I would call her like basically every night, like bawling on like the front my freshman like last year on the steps of my dorm and outside saying like I can't do this, like everything is bad and I was like actually truly miserable. And then now after we figured out a new path that I can take and new options and actually taking the leap to do something that could impact me a lot a lot better and help my future that is right for me. I think that that was just like I could not only like feel the relief in me and feel like freeing, but I could like see that I look so much healthier and I look so much better and I look like there is such like a more positive shift in my life and energy as well.
What do you think, Qatar, about that?
You know, the funny thing, and when I work with people, it always goes worse at first. You know, you have that bridge that it's going to clean, it's going to make it harder to make you realize like this is the wrong path. A lot of people don't listen. You listened in so many ways and you look like you're happier, you're freer, but it's also you trusted. You trusted to work with me, you trusted your mom, you trusted like, you know, we're going to find a way. And you also had confirmations, I think, with the electrical, and I'm not going to go in the story, but life gave you a confirmation. This is not, there's something wrong. Ashley, you remember
No, I'm trying to think what elect.
her electrical went off?
I don't remember this.
No. Okay.
Say it. Share.
No, I think, you know, at her, like where she was staying that day that we were
Oh, yes.
working, she got the confirmation in real life, like, hey, this is God for you.
Remember your air conditioning, your lights, the power?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everything didn't work.
So that's
Oh,
really important when you get those things and they will happen. And you're like, oh my God, that's the universe, God, whatever you believe in is telling you you are on the right path. It always gets worse before it gets better.
Hmm.
So and if you reverse anything that comes into your life being negative to turn it, you'll see the power that you're gonna have. And you know, what happened to you is you just realize, like, I'm still going to be doing this, but I'm not going to do it differently. A lot of people are stuck with especially the parents. No, well, this is where I went, and this is like, you know, it happens all the time. Like dancing. Well, I used to be a dancer, so you're going to be a dancer, you know. So you believed in you, and you were ready to cut the cords, and you were ready to cut the cords in so many ways, like with the school, with, you know, the friends, some of the people that were not fitting, with probably even things that you were thinking where you're going to be in 6 months. You're already advanced like way fast. Like it's both of you are already going the right direction. You're meeting the right people. And everything's going to be different in 2026 because you're doing it for you. And we're going to work on returning to your I am.
yes, I
So,
love it.
yeah. And
Isn't that
Ashley too.
exciting?
We're going to be working on that too. So you're going to be
Yes.
the CEO of that company. So you're going to be my boss in a way. I'm so good at the mindset for people. So, but I think this is very exciting for me to accept that I can do this also with everything that I'm doing, and doing it with you is amazing, and with the girls. And I think the girls are going to be part of the I am agency too, because that's where it all started. So it's exciting. Like I don't know how to put that in. I never thought last year or even this year that I would be doing this. Like to be honest with you.
Right.
I do, you know, business. I do own businesses, but I just never thought I would be like here talking to you guys. I'm usually behind the scene. Um, but thank you. Like I'm amazed at all the changes. And it for me too. When I do cutting cords and healing, it shifts me also. So this is one thing that's important. Every time I'm working with someone, I heal something part of me that I didn't do when I was young. So when I was young, I was well, I'm still young. I'm just like when I was in high school or school, um, college, I went and did accounting. And after that, because my dad wanted me to do accounting, and after that, I was a rebel and I went and did firefighting because that's what I wanted to do, like my passion. And after that, I was like in downtown Montreal, and I was still going into, financial school. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to be stuck in traffic. I went to school for cooking, like for the chef. Like I would go, instead of wasting my time, I was like, and I can eat also there. So I was like, huh, this is like smart. And but I really was a rebel because I was following the completely the opposite of my parents, what my parents would want me to do. So
Right.
I did not have a connection like you have with your kids, and a lot of people don't. So I found my way, and they are so lucky and happy to have this connection with you because things are going to go faster for them. And they're like one thing that's important also, what I did with both of them is putting protection because they had a lot of negative people around them. They had a lot of jealousy, but they also had a lot of evil eye that comes from family and close friends. That especially Paige had a lot of that. So cutting all of those helped, but putting protection and something we're going to talk about in 2026, how you can put it on yourself or um, how some tools can help you is very important. The grounding is important, the protection is important, and also cutting cords is accepting the cutting cords. That's why they both didn't cord back to these people because they were aware like this is not good for me. So
Right. Like understanding now when you say that you've explained the cutting cords to me, when I've worked with people and I see it so clear and I'm like, you got to do, this and this. And I'm so adamant. And then the next time we meet, if it's 2 weeks later, oh, yeah, I tried, but, it's just so hard to get out of that. And it's like, I can only, like you say, it's not for everyone.
no,
Everyone is, I can look at, oh, I would love to help so and so's kids or, help that parent help the kid. But if they're not there and they're on their own journey and no judgment, I don't mean it like I'm, I wish I could make them better, but they're on their journey. But it's so interesting to be so in tune to that and to see it, like you said, like if you can't make them keep the cords cut.
no, that's true. A lot of people will come back and the cords are back, and I can see that. But also when you're talking to them and I'm cutting the cords as we go, I know who's going to bring back those chords because they created those chords. It's not a lot of times it's the people that chord you, but most of the people that are stuck, they are stuck with their own chords. So that's
Right.
why they chord again themselves and all of that. Um, so
But
you
that's like their safety, right? Like they think that keeps them safe.
it is the nervous system that's this is safe. This is safe for you. So they bring back like, well, I'm going to do everything for you so you love me. That's like the puppy, you know? Now, you're going to listen to me and you're going to sit there and the puppy becomes real. It becomes like you becoming like what do you want as a puppy? And that's where it starts. It starts when you're 4 or 5 years old, your reaction to when you've been disciplined or when your mom decides you're going to ballet or play hockey. It's not your path. It's something that you went away from and you didn't voice it. So a lot of people in pageant, it's not their dream. Like you're two girls, they're passionate about it. It's their blood. Some people are just forced in, and I think I did talk to you about that when I was watching live. I can see like who did not fit in there, and or the parent is energy is in,
Right.
or even what happened with some of the pageant, like the Miss Universe and all of that. I can read that energy, and I know I'm going to show you how to read it, and you could see who's not there.
Right.
So, and this is something,
Yes.
the more you learn about it, easier life gets. Because when you want to say no, you say no. You don't go like, when you honor your no, you're honoring your yes at the same time. Because you're not like, well, do you want to go have a coffee? And you're like, oh, well, let me think about it. So that's a no. And people, like when people say, oh, well, let me think about it. Like for me, it's a no. When they come back and they go like, oh, well, I can't, no, I already answered for them. Yeah, just forget it. We're not doing that. So I don't allow them to put me like second. Well, if I have time, I'll let you know. Or you invite someone to a party and they're like, well, I'll let you know when can I answer. I'll let you know basically if they're not getting any invitation somewhere else. You cut that cord right away. I cut the cords right away. So the people that I don't want to talk to, I cut the cords. They cannot reach me in my energy. So every time they try to text me or something, something happens. So this is something I'm going to teach you how to do. Or you enter a room, you want to be invisible, you can be invisible. And people are like, well, I was there too. Like, but I didn't see you. That's how you protect your energy.
Right. And talk about your necklaces and how the
Oh yeah.
protection of,
So this and I'm sending you guys yours this week because I'm going to work on it for 2026. So this is a grounding for me. I wear it all the time. So for me, it reminds me, it is the I am necklace. So um the lower one is for protection and like for me, yeah, because like some are slipped. And the white one is for grounding. Grounding is the most important thing. Okay. Um, because if you're not grounded, you're not protected. So the black one is more of a protection. So when you have it on you, it always reminds you, go back to your I am. I hold it sometimes, like I feel like weird or I'm talking to someone, I just hold it and something will happen that the person is going to say, okay, yeah, I need to get off the phone without even me wanted that person to go away. Um, so I'm gonna have more jewelry out, but we're gonna have one also just for the I am agency. So people, it is a tool. It's something that you get, but you keep. It does break. So when it breaks, it protects you from a bigger thing like accidents or something like that. So I get people like asking me like what I broke. Yeah, it's a protection. I get some, the bracelets and they break and I'm like, oh, and something was supposed to happen. So all of those are going to be infused with energy for each person. So I am sending you like because you all have different energy and you're at different angles in your life. But you'll see a big change when you wear them. I think Carol got hers and
that's what I was going to have you explain
yeah
because
and
that
and
we were talking about that with,
yeah, so they both did. Jackie and they got it and she was having a real bad day and she put it on, she's like, I was a different person. It does change. It works with your own energy. So it's like when you put a perfume, somebody can wear the same perfume but it doesn't smell the same way.
right,
So this is your energy. This is gonna guide you. This is might break, but it's okay. Breaking is accepting that something you were saved from something. So having a tool on you all the time for protection is the most important thing. I wear it all the time. And I even have a ring that has the black, for protection. I don't know if you see it.
oh yeah,
So I always have it on because I forget, the protection. I forget, like sometimes I'm like, I'm talking to someone and I can feel their energy and I'm aware, right away, this is not good for me. So it becomes like you're just in tuned with your own necklace or pendant or um, so those are important things. Even if you're doing a competition, it should be somewhere on you. Even if you're put it somewhere, you tape it on you or something, it has to be on you. So,
hmm,
well, especially when you're like in competition with pageant, like you don't want to be wearing it, I would just tape it.
right. Put it
Yep,
on
just
your stomach and tape it
anywhere. Just you will see
in
the
your gown.
effect. Yes, yeah. So
Oh, this has been fun, everyone. Uh, let's end with everyone. Like Presley, I want you to give me a vision of your 2026, and we'll kind of end with that. And Qatar and I will do the same with this excitement that we're getting ready to launch. And we've already launched it. We already feel like we're in 2026 because
yeah,
we're creating
somebody
now.
asked me and like, we're gonna do this in 20. I said, I'm already in 2026.
Right.
You're
And
talking
I
about.
felt that. I got what you
I
said
was
because
like, I'm done with 2025.
yes.
So that's the year of the snake. Everybody shed a lot
Right.
of negative. So and the year of the horse is gonna be very interesting for a lot of people. The people that want to move forward are gonna move forward. So
Right.
yeah,
And I feel that in my blood. And it's a 1 year. 2026 adds up to a one. So it's the
yeah.
beginning. 2025 was a nine. That's the ending. But let's go with 2026 press and then Paige and then Qatar and I will end it.
Like my intention.
Sure, your vision for 20 year this year ahead that's starting in a couple days.
Um, so we went to the dress store in Tennessee and I got kind of like guided to do this pageant in March. And so I think I want to just trust that everything that comes my way is meant to be and to trust in the things that are given to me and the opportunities that come because everything is meant to be how it is and it's all part of my path. And I just want to trust that and know that everything that is meant for me will find me.
Yes. And, Press, I want you to kind of elaborate there. So, like Qatar said, you already won and you felt like
Yep.
you're better than like in your head. And after you got second runner up and answered that onstage question, like a rock star beyond anyone that was up there, Paige and I were squeezing our hands together, like first
Wedding.
couldn't
I was
believe it. We
I
were
was squeezing my dog's hand because I was just like, did she just answer that? Who is she? Like,
right.
I was surprised. The answer was like it knocked everybody around. Because some people answered and I'm like, they're not even answering the right question. They're not answering. And when you answered,
Mhm.
I knew you shifted. And when you told me you were way better than good enough or whatever you said, I just knew it. I knew this was amazing. You won everybody right there. Like you
Oh,
you basically put a brush and everybody disappeared. Even the winner. Like I'm gonna be honest, because that's what I do. I'm brutal. You kind of like took the stage. Like, and I remember, and I was talking about energy, and I was talking about Marilyn Monroe. I said, any picture you take, you look at her energy is amazing. Being magnetic is the most important thing. You could be in jeans and you're magnetic. So you're going to be magnetic, and the rest of them are going to be, yeah, well, she won because of this and this and that. And I know there's a lot of politics in ballet, in sports, in the pageant, and it doesn't matter. Your road, when you said that to me, I'm like, this is the start of an amazing thing. And
right.
I think I told you you're gonna have like modeling and all that. And Paige too, I felt that. And your connection, now you're becoming your own self. Like it's not the two sisters, it's really two different people that are supporting each other. And that's the most amazing thing. There's no jealousy. It's all, I saw how Paige was there to support Presley when I was working with her. And I made her realize, like no arguing because you're lowering. And I was like so shocked. It was my first like really watching like a pageant live. I did watch some, but I never cared before. But this one, I was like, oh my God, we did it. And I'm just like, I can see your energy. And I was like with my computer and I was just so excited. And even when they announced like who was like the first winner, the winner for me was you, because I was like, this is impossible. Like, and I think everybody felt it,
I do
there
too.
is beautiful things coming for 2026. So
Yes.
I'm really excited.
But so Press, when
So, do you want me to explain the? Yeah, sorry, keep going.
no, go ahead. Explain. So I think what I would love to get across and have people understand is that, like we were saying, it you you have a we know that like when Paige didn't win that one pageant, she had 6 months to go to win Miss California Teen USA. She wasn't supposed to win that. So we're learning that. So it's like the pageant world has taught us so much about, it's not about winning, it's about our path, right? So Presk, explain that in 2026 and what you experienced in this last like 2 weeks of why, gosh, I wasn't supposed to. And look at all these opportunities that it started like the doors were flying open. The
Okay,
singing. You just
I'll
started
tell you a
picking
story.
singing up again.
Yes. So I think when I was at the pageant in Orlando in November, in my head, I was like, okay, like everything fell into place. Like I'm supposed to win this. Like I am like gonna win this. Like this is my thing. This is meant for me. I'm going to win, and there's no like other option. And so after I didn't, I think it was like, okay, well, I was fine with it because I think I did my best. I answered the question the best I could have done. I did everything that I could have. I got top five in two optionals that I got to recompete. That was like amazing. We met with the modeling agencies there, and I think it was like, okay, so that wasn't meant for me, but it was like, okay, that was like a win in my heart. And then to like last week, we went to the dress store in Tennessee, and we just went there because I was like in my head, I was like, okay, well, I'll just do the whatever Miss California Teen USA in like June or July or whenever it was, and I'll get a dress and like that's what I'll do. And so the dress store lady had told mom, "Oh, I have a plan for Presley." And we kind of thought I was like, "Oh, she probably like picked out a dress for me, like whatever." So we get there and she tells me she signed me up for this pageant. And I was like, "Okay, like she's probably just saying that, but I'm not actually going to do it." And so the second day we were there, we got into the dress store. She had me booked with the talent guy at an appointment. We picked out the perfect dress, and so we go upstairs in the dress store, and I learned how to sing again. And so that was kind of cool because I had not sung for so long. We did musical theater all growing up. And so it was cool. Now I get to do the pageant in March where I get to sing, which is really cool. And it was kind of like, okay, well, paid the dress store lady put this pageant in my path. So it's kind of cool to see everything coming to me and seeing where I'm supposed to go and seeing how that we were supposed to go to the dress store place like for a reason. And it wasn't just to go to the border on Kentucky and Tennessee and find a dress, but it was really leading me to finding my passion for singing again and doing this new pageant that I never even thought I would have done and doing all these things that led us and meeting Sherry Hill and getting to do those opportunities. I think it was all things that we never would have thought flying there. We would never even thought that that would have happened and all these things. But I think seeing those opportunities literally fall in my lap, like that pageant and the singing and all of that, I think was so cool to see that because now I'm on this new journey because even though I truly thought I was going to win the other pageant, I was like, okay, well, this other pageant just fell into my lap now, so I guess we'll see where this takes me.
Yeah, I love it. Qatar, that's an energy shift. You saw that.
Absolutely. I really saw it when she said, I'm better than good enough. Whatever she said. I was like, she's
I'm more
not.
than good enough.
Yeah,
Put
I
that
was
on a
just like, she's
shirt.
not gonna win this, but you acted as a winner when they announced, okay? Because I was watching you. You acted as you won. So that was the most amazing thing, because your energy was like, but I'm the winner no matter what. Because you were so like, I want to win. I said, but you can lose and still win, and you won. So your energy was not like crying or like
Mm-mm.
your energy was really just happy, and we're like, things are gonna open, and things did open.
So
Your I
fast.
know like your mom was saying July, and after that she comes back. No, she's doing March, and I just went like, what? I was lost. I was like, so
We move fast in this
I know,
family.
and I seen both of the dresses, like, and both like I saw just the video really of Paige, and I think I seen some pictures of the dress, but it was magnetic. So whatever I helped you with, I seen that's the best thing for me. Is seeing like it's working. It was so amazing. I was like, who are these two? Like I didn't even recognize you at first because I was just like, oh, she's sending me something. You look different. You act different, and you acted like a winner. And Paige, we're gonna work on you winning too. So winning wherever you're supposed to win. Um, but 2026 is gonna be the opening for all of us. I accept my gifts. I know all of you, and we're gonna bring out your own gifts to help the younger generation, the teenager, the one that are competing. That it's not about winning; it's about finding yourself, and that's the biggest win.
Right. Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Paige, why don't you continue and we'll close it up. Your vision and what
Oh,
you
can I
saw.
ask Paige one thing? I want to
Yes.
know, how did you feel in that red dress
In
in Tennessee, like the one that you just
The
like
silver with the
on
red
the roof?
cape
Over the Richie.
on the roof, the one that's on Instagram.
Oh, it was like so pretty. I was
How
like,
did you feel? What was your energy in it? Like,
um, we didn't choose it, but I felt it was the first we saw it, and it was like I was like, wow. Like
Yeah.
just like and then putting it on, I just felt like um at some dresses when you put on, you're worried about like the dress overpowering you, more than like you like complimenting the dress or like letting the dress like elevate you. And like wearing that dress, I think, and getting those beautiful photos in it from the photographer that we met, it made me feel very like powerful in it. It made me feel I felt so beautiful in it. And I think that like I haven't tried on a dress like ever in my probably how many years of pageants? Like
10
11.
years?
11?
11?
Like that was like the first time that I like tried on a dress and I was like, wow, like this is something different, you know? And it like made me feel like not only like powerful but like elegant and it like it complimented who I am as a person and let it like show on the outside.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, oh my God, that dress just had your name on it. Like anybody that would wear that dress would probably not have the same feeling. And you just took that dress and you said, this is my name on it. And you had so much energy in that dress too. Like, so you're working on like all the cutting cords and all of that. You were just free in that dress. So
Mhm.
that's what happens when you're working on you and letting go of things and trusting. That dress was amazing.
Yeah.
That's still amazing. I mean,
Yes. And the one we picked, it's so fun to sit there. I wish you were there with me, Qatar, because she would come out with a gown or, they both do. But you look at it and you're like, and then as soon as the right one comes on, you're like, oh, there it is. It's like so easy.
so
But
exciting.
yeah, Paige, go ahead. Share with,
Sorry, Paige. I just really wanted to.
yeah.
I
No,
felt like you were in Monroe, like Marilyn Monroe, and you had this effect on, like, I don't know. I was just felt like amazing energy. So I'm sorry, I needed to about the dress.
no, I love
Uh,
it.
so I feel like I ended 2025 like the best that I've ever. Like I feel like I have so much more direction. I have more of I feel like yeah, like you said, like 2025 is a fresh start and whatever, or like the next year, 2026 is like a fresh start. But like this is like a total new path in my life that I'm taking, and I feel like it came at the like right moment. And I know that because of the path that I'm taking, I'm going to be able to do so many more things. And now, in 2026, I'm turning 20. So that's like, I'm not a teenager anymore. Like, this is a new start to my life. I need to start having more life experiences. So I'm going to be able to say yes to so many more things to get those life experiences that will help me elevate into a better person to have me experience like all different things that I wouldn't have been able to do if I didn't decide to take that leap of faith and hope and choose the path that I am going on to in my year of 2026.
Yes. I love it.
You're gonna be 20 going on 40. Just like
Yes.
your energy.
That's my goal. That's my
You're
goal.
just like ready. I'm like ready for the world.
I
And
want
that's
to
what
look like
I
I'm
felt,
20, but I want to be 40 in the inside. I want to be smart. I want to be years ahead of the people my age. And yeah.
And
You
you
know,
are, you are. So
Mhm.
just like talking about, the drinking and the red little cups that I had when we were. So we had just the big one. We didn't have the little ones. So people were drinking and drinking. So just you talking about that, you're going to change a lot of people's life. You don't have to drink to be yourself or authentic. So
right,
2026, I think you're going to change a lot of teens. Both of you together are going to make a huge difference. You don't need to drink, you don't need to smoke, you don't need to take drugs to be yourself or be comfortable. You just have to be yourself and take that road. Um,
right.
yeah, so this is amazing. You girls are, you did in 2 months. I feel like I've known you guys for 20 something years and I've been working with you since you're little, but and I don't know. It's just a weird feeling.
I know, I love it. Same feelings. Now, Qatar, your turn. Your 2026
My
vision.
20s, I'm already in 2026, okay?
Yes.
people like really, I'm already like shifted away from 2025. Um, I'm just gonna be more visible. Something that I never thought I would be because I don't like being in front of anything, pictures or even video right now. I don't really care. I'm just like, this is me. Um, and helping to shift people, going to Morocco is going to be fun. And I think I would love to go the next year with, the girls discovering all of these things. Um, I think I'm just going to open the door for really being more visible with different things, athletes, working with I practice, and I think I would love the girls to participate in that so they can help younger athletes. So I'm just opening the door. I'm not stopping because usually I plan my year. Well, I'm gonna be not doing this, and I don't have like I think we talked about the no resolution. I don't have any resolutions on the first. I don't even do a vision board and all that. When I want something, I my brain became the vision board. Like I want something, I go get it. So
Right.
I see the car I want, and I'm like, oh, that's what I want. It's calling me. It's my name is on it. So when I want something, I get it. And this is became like more for me, like less planning of the years. But 2026, I'm going to open up to more healing, more accepting my gifts, and working with you. I think that's the biggest thing in 2026 for me is accepting that you can help me and accepting my gifts and your gifts and everybody's gifts. Like just being more visible. I don't know. Like it's really weird for me because I'm already in 2026. I'm already building
Right.
this, like shifting people and work. And but I will say one thing, 2026, what I will not do is work with people that don't want to shift. So there's some people that are going to come to us and I'm going to say, you really, I don't want to work. And I know you're going to respect that. You can still work with them. I'm me. I'm just like, nah. So I'm gonna start saying no to some people until they level up and they accept the healing. Because I'm not taking anyone with me uh that don't want to heal. So
Right.
for me, that's gonna be a big thing in 2026.
Yeah, I love that.
Um,
What you have done for me is open up my power of realizing my power, I guess, and always knowing it's there, but never really announcing it or being it. But you've given me that. You've gotten me out of the closet too.
oh yeah,
uh,
when you said that about me, and I'm like, anybody's gonna listen to this, they're gonna say she got out of the closet. I'm like, people are gonna be thinking something else, but I was not, I was in my own closet. It
right?
was so funny because I was listening to it. But yes, you have all the power. You had the power for a long time. I see that for you, and I don't say this like to a lot of people. Um, you have a lot of power. And when you're gonna decide like, hey, I'm gonna trust my first intuition, I hope you can say it to people. So because that's you. That's it takes you sometimes a week or maybe two to say it to someone
I'll say it right away.
because you don't want to hurt their feelings. They're already hurting their feelings anyways. So
Right.
you punching a little harder is just going to wake them up. And
Right. And they want that, and
yes,
that's,
I need it.
yes, they
Yeah,
need that.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
But in my vision is this new direction and this looking at life as um, like I love shifting and I love new things and I love change. And that's what excites me too about, I mean, I've always been one that loves to move or, move to the different city or, I've always been a person that loves change. And I realized too, like you got me to think that it's time to change. The podcast is you've done your part. You've given your everything. You've helped people and for 5 years opening their eyes to different people that I've spoken with, and it's taught me so much. But now it's time for me to move in this new direction, and we'll do our vision boards, but I think it's so fun to sit together and sit at the table and just share. That part to me is so fun to we're dreaming together and looking at the things that light us up. And I get excited to do that with the girls. And for me to look at 2026 and say, this is going to be the year that we all realize our power and we realize this um, this energy that we already know, that we have the knowing and the full body yeses and the green lights. We're aware of that, and we lead our lives with that, and we don't ignore it anymore. That's the first thing that leads into the next direction, and it just excites me, and I feel like I'm in that energy, and I'm so grateful, and I love all of you. And for anyone listening, you can reach out. We're going to have calls weekly that we will be putting out. We're going to have our Instagram page. We'll have our website. Everyone knows how to find me. And that is happening pretty much yesterday. It's already happening. So reach out, connect with Kawtar and I. If you have kids and they need to get any kind of inspiration from my girls, I know they would love to share their experience and give their little testimony of what their life is and what they've experienced and can help in any way. We always talk, I'm the one that loves to give advice, and now I watch my I watch my girls. I love giving advice, Mom. I love helping people.
I said that to you yesterday.
I know. Paige
That's
loves
so
it
funny.
too. I know.
That is funny. And don't forget me to put me on your vision boards.
Yes, we will.
Because find something. Yeah, I feel like you already started your vision board in November. So by the way, you already know what you want. You already vision you're like you have this vision of what you truly want. So I hear all the time when I talk about, pageant or these beauty contests, people are like, oh, they're all fake and all of that. So a lot of people don't have a clue of how it's not about the beauty, it's about the hard work and about shifting your energy, and it's about believing in yourself. So it's not just fake. Yeah, there is people that are going to be fake in every sports and every, like, you have those people, but you guys are taught me one thing. It's you are so down to earth and you're so yourself, and you have so much gratitude for your mom and everybody that's helping you, and that's a beautiful thing to see. Like, seriously, it's not just about beauty, it's not about just winning, it's about really being present. And I want to thank you for that.
Oh,
And I
thank
think
you.
I would like you to say something about the photographer, because I think he made a huge impact in your life. Because I think his energy, like, just
Oh my gosh.
something like,
Fadil, Fadil. How do you pronounce his last name?
Marisha or something?
Barisha, Fadil Barisha. We're going over, but I don't care. Isn't it funny, Qatar yesterday? Even
who
if it's
cares? We said
15
it's
minutes.
going to be 15 minutes. Obviously, we need more. But I know the impact that Fadil did for you, because I felt it. Because I didn't talk to you days that you were there, but I just felt like you guys elevating, and I think he shared some energy that was amazing, and I think
Oh
he
my
does that with a
gosh.
lot of people. But you guys shifted right there with him, so it's
Yes.
amazing.
I have to explain the story, and I know that's part of our energy. The three of us driving from Tennessee to 3 hours in a tornado to get to this hotel across the street was Joanne's dress shop where we were meeting the next day. But that night we get there, and I didn't know that it was a tornado, but me and Press on the front in the front row seat of our rental
We're
car
just
while Paige is
sleeping in the
sleeping in the
back.
back seat. Um,
She's sleeping, but that says a lot.
and I'm white knuckling it,
And I was like,
and
Mom, I feel so bad for
I-
you. Like, I'm sorry.
I didn't even know what was happening.
and she was
So
just sleeping. Anyway, we get to the hotel and the electricity had gone out across the street, which was Tennessee, and we were in Kentucky. So right across the street, we're at the borderline. Well, Kentucky had a different energy grid, so there was electricity. We go in, we saw Joanne, we saw Sherry Hill. They were
Her
trying to
name's not
get these,
Joanne. Her name's
I
Paige.
mean,
It's a
Paige,
dress
the
store.
owner of Joanne's dress shop. And she said, just go into the restaurant. We're going to go help this girl that we got blacked out at the store. So we're at the hotel now. We're going to bring Sherry Hill up to her room, blah, blah, blah. So we go into the restaurant. We found an empty table. We sit down. We look around. We're kind of sitting there. We look over and I see, that's Fidel. And that's the guy that's photographing you
Oh,
Photograph.
tomorrow.
oh my God. You sound
Photographing.
like me. The French is coming out.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes the word.
he sees us, and we kind of like, Mom, you're looking at him. Don't look. So he comes over and he goes, you must be my models for tomorrow. And we said, we are. We're your first ones. We're your 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock models. And he was with his assistant. Long story short, sits down. We have dinner with him. We get to know him. He gets to know us, which was just so magical to know that he knew our energy before his photo shoot the next morning. And we just had this such a connection. And I just adored the guy, like loved him, like I'd known him forever. And the girls felt this connection, and he just was like in awe of the whole thing. So we have this relationship already established the night before. And then we go do the photo shoot, and the cool thing was were first, and he was not in any hurry, and he wanted it to be perfect, and it was. And now we have this amazing relationship with him, and that was part of that magic of that day, and it just continued. I mean, I still look back at that day. It was really one day that we did that, but yeah, he added so much magic to that, and now that's part of our shift. Like knowing, like meeting him, meeting Sherry Hill, now being Sherry Hill models, like that thing was like magic. The whole thing, that whole day was like Qatar. We had cut so many cords. We were like, all the doors were just like flying open.
That's so funny because you're gonna start doing that. Like, just I do it all the time. Like, people are just like, "What are you doing?" Like, I do it at parties. I do it like I just keep cutting my own cords. So this is gonna become 2026 where you're gonna start cutting your own cords. From someone that calls you, you go click. That's it. You're gone. But the magic of I felt the magic, like, and I felt it like even when you were texting about it, I was just like, "Oh my God!" So you all shifted at the same time and it was magical. So you wanted to see what's your magic? Like you are the magic, Ashley. You booked this what in December or November?
Yeah, yeah. I
And
think I
when you,
booked it the end of October, maybe no,
oh,
November. November.
November.
Yeah,
So you created that magic and you just like continued and it just that's what happened when you believe in yourself. It's not gonna always be easy, but to get where you just got with, I don't know, it just happened. It felt like a year.
hmm
But you guys like shifted like really, really, and that's all the work that you did too. Um, I'm excited about 2026. I'm gonna probably do a vision board too. I usually don't, but I think I'm gonna do it. Just don't
Yeah.
forget the magic is always inside of you. Like
Yes.
I want to tell everyone, stop trying to find it in somebody else.
Yeah.
Find it inside of you. And people are gonna leave your life. Like the people that you had in high school or when you were, younger, whatever, people leave your life. Some people come back and some people will never connect with you. So
Right.
the more you elevate, the more beautiful, magical it's going to be. So I'm
Right.
excited for 2026. Like, thank you, Ashley.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you
you,
so much.
Paige and Presley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we're going to
Kidding?
be working together in 2026. I'm already in 2026. I see a lot of beautiful things for you guys. Um,
Me too.
so let's start the magical tornado. So you saw that tornado a lot of times when there's a storm, a rain, a tornado, it cleanses whatever energy. So obviously Presley was sleeping, so she didn't need it.
No,
No,
Paige was.
Paige was
Oh, well,
sleeping.
Paige was sleeping. So that's funny. So you're like you were in the front sleeping?
I was in the
No.
back.
I was in the
In the back.
front with
You're in
mom.
the front. So
Yes.
you guys needed it. So anytime there's a big storm or something, allow the energy to go.
Yeah. Oh, we did. I held on to that wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, everybody. This was
Thank
so
you,
fun.
and we'll see you in 2026.
Yes, we will.
Yep.